This is Eddy Dacius. We are on our new episode with Valery Gabriel. She's an educator, advocate, cheerleader, and lifelong learner. She's excited, and we are excited to have her today. Valery, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today with us on our podcast. This is Divine Purpose Podcast, and this episode is brought to you by Dacius Facility Management. Dacius Facility Management, they will manage your property with a variety of services such as project management, locksmithing, and janitorial services. We here with Valery. Valery, what can you tell us about you? So, the reason we like to ask this question, and it might be a loaded question, but we want to know who you are. And I see on your LinkedIn you are an educator, advocate, cheerleader, lifelong learner. So, tell us about you.
Yeah, I feel like you got it right. All of that. I am an educator, first and foremost. I've been teaching for a while, over 5 years, and
Okay.
I have the opportunity to teach all over the world, from Zambia to even Haiti. I've had my time to just experience all of that, and I've been at the Department of Education for 5 years now.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
Wow.
it's been quite an interesting journey.
Nah, we don't worry. We're gonna go deeper on that journey because we feel like people can learn from your journey. And before we go further, so let's introduce the show, Divine Purpose Podcast. Let's go.
Welcome to the Divine Purpose Podcast, where we transport you along one of the more dynamic journeys of life. Have you ever been curious to know what it takes to become a successful leader? Or about knowing the secrets of life through the Bible? How about engaging in conversation where no topics are off limits? We will take you to new levels with guests who can help you grasp the importance of your calling. Now, here's your host, Eddy Dacius, founder of Dacius Facilities Management.
All right, we back with Divine Purpose Podcast. Like we said, we have a great guest, Valery Gabriel. Valery, how are you today?
I'm feeling great.
So, like we just said, you just give us a glimpse on who you are, and one way we try to go deeper on that question. So, how was it your upbringing? So tell us where you're from, your parents, and we'll go to that journey. And I'm excited. I know it's a very interesting journey.
We gotta go all the way back.
Yes.
How far back are we going
It's up
here?
to you. So you're the guest. You lead us where you wanna us to know about you and our audience.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I came from a very humble beginning. Came from my lovely country of Haiti in we would say a neighborhood that I don't know how to put it. In a bidonville. I don't know what the word for that.
Okay.
in Haiti. Went to a Catholic school over there. My dad was over here in the United States trying to, I guess, build a life here and trying to make it work for us because economic opportunities are scarce in Haiti. And basically, I never got to really see my dad because ever since I was born, he was in the U.S. So he never really came back and forth because the procedure to actually get papers and come back to Haiti took a really long time.
Yes, definitely.
So, but we still wrote each other letters. And back in the days, we didn't have the phones. We used to have to go pay call to call each other. But it's great to know that he was very involved still in my life. So it was just my mom and I. My mom was a hustler. She, in her own way, she was a little machine. Sold goods on the street.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of where they came from and to see where I am now. When I was about the age of 13 to 13, yeah, I moved here to the United States. I
Yeah.
was placed um, in an ENL classroom at the time, which was to learn the language. And they were so worried about me. They were just like, oh my goodness, or is she going to graduate? Because she's coming from another country.
Okay.
She doesn't speak the language and things like that. And within 6 months,
Mm.
they actually actually was placed in honors English.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Really? Oh
Mhm.
man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you share it because we every guest show us something different in terms of their upbringing, and the common denominator is they always exceed. It doesn't matter what age they came in,
Mhm.
but they always do put the work and then excel to wherever environment they put them in. So let's go on you from Haiti, you come here in the United States. What was the culture shock for you?
Oh boy. Um, well, my first culture shock was from the airplane, right? Something like hamburger. That was like a big culture shock because at those times, like when I came, food like this was
Yeah.
the things that um we envision on TV, like to actually taste.
Okay.
Them. Like, I actually don't like this. This is what I look forward to.
Wow.
Um, Little things like getting onto an elevator. That was like such a huge deal
Big
for
deal.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the escalator, elevator, all of these things that I feel like Americans were used to, it was just like, whoa. Like,
That was different for you, and I share the same because at the end of the day, me, when I'm a earthquake survivor, so I was in Haiti, and when the earthquake happened, and when I first got to the train, so I'm in Boston, and all the vibration, I feel like it was the earthquake. To
wow.
be honest with you, so that was something that happened to me, type of PTSD. So let's go on this. So what are the three most challenging event in your life, and all they challenge you?
The three most challenging events.
Event. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. I would say right now, teaching through this pandemic has been quite challenging. Um, the next one is, I would say, carrying on this. Um, I would say the burden, I guess, this expectation of what things are supposed to be like at my age. As,
Okay.
as a Haitian young woman, I've always had this determination and this drive. So people always looked at me like I'm supposed to go further, and I'm like, is this far enough for you?
Yeah, I understand.
hmm Um, and I guess like trusting that we are on the right path of wherever we're going. So I would say that's really challenging because I've also started to, I've been working with Haitian and just Haitian organization, and this time is also very challenging to be in anything Haiti related because it's just, there are so many crossroads. Like for things
Yes.
that you want to do is like you're blocked there, you're blocked there, you're blocked there. So I'm being challenged in every way possible when it comes to even trying to uplift my people and trying to just do good in the community as well.
So I will go to you with this question. What kept you going then?
You see this shirt I'm wearing today? It's very ironic. I didn't wear it on purpose because I was coming on the podcast, but it's really just my faith that keeps me going, and
Wow.
I do believe like um I'm spiritual, and I do believe that I feel like God placed people in our ways that really just push us to keep going further. Like, you know what? Somebody comes across you, and for some reason, it kind of motivates you to just move along. That
Yeah.
gives you a sign that you are on the right path, and that they see you, and they validate you.
It's like somebody you meet somebody and then they share the right vibe and then give you like kind of push you to the right direction. Is that
Yeah,
what you telling us?
I'm exactly telling you. That's all I've seen this year. Throughout this year, it was the most difficult year of my life, but I feel like little angels come in the form of people that
Yeah.
are just like that guide us in their own little way, that support us.
All
So,
right. So let's go with what are the most thing you are proud you accomplished?
wow, what's the most thing, the proudest thing? Oh wow, that's a big question. I never actually sat to think about it. I would just say my life, the way I live my life. I wouldn't say I have one accomplishment, but it's just um, I motivate me to keep going in a way.
Mm.
When you look back at my age at 27, I have done everything that I've wanted to do, or I have set my mind to do by my age. And I don't mean to limit myself with my age, but I look back on my journey, and if I were to die tomorrow, I am proud of everything I've done until now. Um, from the good to the challenges, I'm so proud of who it made me. From my challenges in teaching, my challenges in Haiti, everything. It just led me to here.
Wow. And this will be my next question. What was your dream job in high school, college, and now? Because if you say you're proud of what you have accomplished, that means you definitely had a dream job, but it might be the same. But let's hear you. What was your dream job in high school, college, and now?
Okay, so this one might be a little surprising. I was never one of those people that was just like, I have the most craziest dream job. My mentality was I wanted to live life to the fullest. And for me, that came in the form of what I was good at, using my skill and what I love to do. And what did I love to do? It was I love people. Like I love life and I love people. So I wanted a life that reflected that. So I thought of what would be the best career path for me to be a servant
Okay.
and just express all of my skills. And teaching was that, because it actually allows me to use every single one of my skills. And it's such a powerful job. And it also gives me the lifestyle that I want, where I have my weekends and I have my summer and I have my time to spend with my family when I need to. So those were my focus, and it, yeah, it worked out. I just wanted to love, serve, and empower.
So now let's go with you now being in like so you're in high school and I see that you're a cheerleader. What got you into that path?
Okay, so I'm not an actual high school cheerleader.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. So, what do you mean? I see that you made that on your profile.
Yeah,
What is,
I mean, I am a life cheerleader, meaning
okay,
that I'm the person that's going to be on your team that's going to motivate us to keep going harder.
okay.
Like, I am such a dreamer. I have grand vision. So whenever I'm working on a project, the way I see it, it's like, whoa, we can do this. Let's go. Let's go. And that's the energy that
Okay.
I bring to every table. So I consider myself a cheerleader because I just cheer everybody on.
So now, so what was your activities at in high school?
I was
You
that
said,
girl.
yeah. Can you describe yourself in high school? Let's take us back.
So, um, actually coming from Haiti, you had to be home at a certain time. It was just like school, church, and home. So
Hold on, Valerie. We
yeah,
have a way to say it. L'école, l'église, la caille. You know.
yeah, they took it to heart because I didn't really have the opportunities to be as involved as I could be because safety was an issue. It's just go home, go home. So
Yeah.
when I came here, I was like, what? I could do this, that, and the third. And it was like amazing, like to just be in high school here.
Yeah.
And I just took advantage of everything. I was in soccer, I was in track, I was a student,
Wow.
I was president of the school, even with my accent and my, learning English stuff, I became president of the school. And it's
Whoa,
just,
whoa, 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 what?
yeah, I'm very proud of that.
Wow, that's amazing. So, what was your campaign? What was it?
um, I don't remember what it was at that time.
Okay.
I just remember like we're gonna get this done. If
Wow.
that was here, like it's gonna happen. It's going to be possible. But that's the way my mind thinks.
So now, high school, you graduated high school and you ready to go to college. Take us to that process.
Who what?
So you graduated high school, so you have your time in high school, and then now you're ready for college. Can you please take us to that process?
Yes. So I don't know if you're going back to my life, but I'm post college. I'm almost gone.
The reason I ask is because we like to take our audience to a journey. To understand you now, we need to see what like the choices you made that kind of get you to be proud of who you are, and even you just said you're very proud of what you have accomplished because you took decision, you make decision in high school and in college, kind of shape who is Valery Gabriel is today. That's the only way. That's the only reason we ask you a question.
I get it. Absolutely. College, it was such a new experience for me. But the process, I would say, it was challenging in its own way. But the way I worked, it was like, I got to do this because that's what I want to do. So my parents, they had no idea how to help me with this college process.
Okay.
I was 100% on my own. But I told you, like, God placed little angels in our lives that comes in the support in the form of mentors and people that come across to lift us. So I'm very grateful that I had a lot of these people that were very supportive of my journey. But also I feel like when you're determined, people are attracted to that. So my guidance counselor was rooting for me. I had a lot of people that were just like, they wanted to see me do well. So I had help there in terms of educators in my life, and that supported me. But it was still challenging because the financial piece was completely on my own. So it was like my parents were looking at me like, I don't know how you're gonna do this college thing. They didn't want me to go away.
Wow.
But it was because they couldn't afford it. But granted, I found a way. I applied to so many scholarships. I ended up getting a scholarship that paid for my college tuition, and all I had to pay for was room and board. So,
but and this is so valuable because we have different ages that's listening to our podcast. And please subscribe to the channel DP Podcast on YouTube, Facebook. So a lot of Haitian and all in that process where the parents didn't get that knowledge or allow them to even guide them to the college choices, and at the end of the day you still make it happen. So this is the body of knowledge we want to share with our audience, and I'm glad you went to that and mentioned that you did a good job where you applied to a bunch of scholarship to allow you to go to college.
Yeah. Well, I would say, first step is kind of have an idea of what you wanted to do. You see, a lot of high school students, they don't really know what they want to do with their lives. That's a really big decision. But I told you what I focused on, like what I envisioned my life as. And I was like, you know what? Teaching seems like the greatest career for me. And once I made up my mind about what I wanted to do after high school, during high school, I was like, things came to find me. All of a sudden, it's like the universe worked in your favor. I found right in my high school that they had this teaching scholarship because a lot of people that look like me, they don't go into the teaching field. So you have a lot of incentives that are out there, but it's just like, what is it that you want to do? And once you kind of have that idea, it kind of helps to give you a path to to guide you. So I found that, and I worked hard towards it, and I ended up getting it because there are so many programs out there that are here to support us too.
Wow, well said, well said. So let's go to this question. So, what are the 3 book you will recommend our audience as an educator? What are the 3 books you'll be recommending us today?
I would say first and foremost the Bible.
Yep, the Bible, number 1.
Yes. Is still my guiding path. I never put it down. I would say another one is Atomic Habit.
Oh boy, again. Yeah, I like this book so much.
Yeah.
I like it. Very, very good book. Very good choice.
Yeah. And I would say another one is Time to Quit.
Really? I didn't know. I didn't know that. Time to Quit. Let me get it.
It's brand new because it's not brand new. It's just it's a good book to read in terms of life decision. It's not necessarily about your job. It's just you don't have to be in a position where you're like, I want to quit my job to read this, or I want to quit what I'm doing. It just has really good guiding questions about what your situation looks like now and how to go about it.
Okay. All right. Now, so you finished college and you're ready to work. What was this process for you?
Oh boy. I finished college. I was like, what? I had like 3 jobs in college. So I was really looking forward to just having one job that could be like the job for me. So I was just ready to just be out there and start making money and feeling like living life. So that process again came with me putting my foot out there. I was just a very enthusiastic person, and the very first job that I got, I'm still there right now. And
yeah,
it's been
wow.
And sometimes opportunities come and they may not look like the perfect or ideal situation, but it's how you're able to use your skills within that situation. It's great.
I'm glad you shared that with us, because people right now with the great resignation, or leaving jobs or looking for other opportunity. So so this is the next question. What is one piece of advice you would give to someone who's starting their career?
My career, I would say my career is very different. I do think part of it is a calling. You have to really have the heart for it, because even with the heart and the passion for it, it still is can be demanding and exhausting. I would say to really surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up in it, because if you're going to last long in this field, you need to be surrounded with people that are going to help you. It's really hard to survive in that environment when you're not being lifted up. So it has a lot more negative than positive.
Okay.
But the positive is understanding why you're getting into it and why you wanted to do it in the first place as well. And just know that there will be challenges. It's just how you use the challenges. Do you use them to your advantage as well? There will be some difficulties, and know that there is a lot of opportunities to use your skills and use those challenges to your opportunities. Use everything that comes in there to get out there. If I'm making sense.
No, I think you make perfect sense. But let's go to an important mentor. Like, who has been your most important professional mentor?
Okay, so I have 3 different kind of mentor. I have a spiritual mentor, Um, Professional wise, I have this lady named Iranda Lenz, and she's been my rock since high school. She's just always seen the light in me, and she's also an educator. And till this day, she motivates me, even with her own journey, even when she her own challenges. It's like, look, hey, I'm doing it, and here's how I'm handling it. And it's been this huge form of support. And sometimes our mentor, it can be hard to find them within our job, right?
Yes.
But you have them in the career. Like, find other people within your career. It doesn't have to be somebody that works with you. And sometimes, those are the greatest people.
Wow. No, and I think this make perfect sense. Let's go to this question now. What's the best compliment you ever gotten?
Wow.
Best compliment somebody ever give you?
Well, today I had a meeting because I'm starting this marketing team at my school to help them out. And my assistant principal was asking me who's going to be on the team. And I told her the people that are going to be on the team, myself. And she's like, that's a really good team. I said, why? She said, because you're also very creative and you're one of the most creative minds. So she has never said anything like
Wow.
that. Really touched me. Like, do you see me as a creative person? What? You've never said these things all these years now?
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. And I feel like people need to do that more, where they speak to other people with compliment, because there's so much negativity now. Like, we need to start looking for things that can lift others. So, what was your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory is actually really sad, but because I don't think they do that anymore. So I used to go bike riding in this park in Haiti called Mas.
Oh wow.
We like our or mini getaway, right? They have these people that they used to rent their bikes, not rent them, kind of like what they do in Central Park here in New York City, where they have the people get in the back and then they ride it to there. It was so beautiful. And then after, we would get ice cream. Ice cream was such a luxury, and we would get the same flavor, which was rum raisin, and it's been so precious. And I think that's these memories, yeah.
And I think you mentioned in Shanmas, so I used to go to with my family every when it's like Christmas time, and we go to Shanmas, like drink, like I have fun, like get ice cream or pizza. So that was our life too. So I think you made a good point in terms of talking about Shanmas. So now, did you ever have a chance to go back to Haiti?
Uh, yeah,
Or
yeah,
was it? I know you say you teach in Haiti.
yeah.
What was
I go back. I used to go back very often. It's like I never left. Yeah,
really?
but now it seems like there's like a road cross every time. But yeah, I just went with faith in my heart. Like, this is my country. This is the home that I
Okay.
live in, and I go with the love in my heart and to see my family, because my family's still there, and I hope maybe the memories, I'm still holding on to them, so I go back.
No. Thank you for sharing that. So let's go with, what do people misunderstand about you most?
Mm. I would say I'm very outspoken in terms of my things I'm passionate about, and I'm passionate about helping other people too. So, sometimes when I speak on behalf of other people, I guess some other people may misunderstand it as like me starting things.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I think we all want to hold on to our peace, but sometimes there's certain situations where you can't just be bystanders and watch. And I'm usually the person that's very fearless about stating what needs to be said about a certain situation and saying it like it is. So that's me, and it's all out of love because I think my mindset thinks equity, equality. So if I see something, I'm gonna say it.
Wow. And I think this should be the case where you need to be outspoken and raise your voice when it's mostly mattered to help others. So let's quickly go to Divine Purpose Podcast. This is Valery Gabriel. So we're gonna have our commercial now.
What comes before making a smart decision? Choices. A smart choice is the best option, which is who we are. That's why our clients expect more from us and, in return, get more in everything we do. We understand the problem. That's why we thrive for excellence. We don't just create a winning culture. We aspire to be a smart choice, a voice for solutions. We believe in integrity, professionalism, and teamwork. Our passion is to bring results from our clients by working harder, smarter, and faster. As a team, we always deliver because we recognize your needs. Choosing smart influences us to be the best version of ourselves. That makes us different than other companies. It makes us confident in achieving our goals. It makes us who we are. And it makes us DFM, the smart choice.
Hey, we back with Valery Gabriel. So she's an educator, she's an advocate, and she's a cheerleader. And we like everything we heard from you, and we have more for you. We have more for you, definitely. So let's go to this. Now you're working as an educator. So what was your first time teaching? How was your confidence level?
My first time teaching, I would say my first time teaching was, I guess I did it through volunteering. But if we're talking about going back, I used to be one of those children that used to play school all the time, where I would pretend I was a teacher.
Oh. Really? Wow, that's good.
So I would say that was my first time. But my first time would be to a volunteering mission trip that I did.
Okay, can you take us there?
Mm-hmm. So one of them was in India, and then one of them was in Zambia. So my first time was actually Zambia. So I just remember coming into there and actually seeing who I would be teaching with, who the people are, and just from there my heart takes over. And it is a job, a career where your heart plays a big part into it. Granted, your confident level in it could never be too high, but it's just like understanding that you're there to support. You're not there to just like pretend that you know it all, but just to be there like, hey, look, I'm there to teach, but I'm there to just support you in lifting you up that in whatever you're trying to get through. So
but let's say, what do you think? So let's say somebody want to get to this path of teaching or be an educator. What are the skills you think they should have?
Wow. You need to be able to multitask. Absolutely multitask. 2, you really need to have a good self-care routine. Like really have a good circle of support. That's not a skill, but it will help you sustain the career long term. You need to have classroom management. Yes. Patience.
Wow.
A lot of patience and compassion, and being able to see every child for who they are and what they are going through at that moment. Having that people skill is very important, I think. If you're just coming in as it's just a job, it's going to be a very hard job for you.
Wow. And this is very, very deep. You saying like you need to be multitask and be patient. So why being patient?
Why is it important to be patient?
Yeah.
It's for you, because you'll drive yourself crazy. Because,
Oh wow.
the child is a child, and the child is gonna do what children do, which is make mistakes majority of the time. So you have to learn to give grace to that. They're trying to navigate their own world, depending on the age that you're teaching at, right? 6 and 7.
Yeah.
They don't see the world the way that we do. They're navigating their own world right now. So it's like, you know what? I see this, I want that, and I'm going to take it and then throw it away and accidentally don't know where it is later.
Wow.
That's just children.
Well, you're right. So, in me involving with coaching, I'm not saying it's the same, but it's kind of same similarity.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to hot topic now. Hot topic. This is a segment where we talk about like very, very. It's not taboo subjects, but questions people would not have a chance to ask you. So we're gonna try to go there now. All right, so we have hot topic with Valery, Gabriel. So, what ought to see the world into the eyes of your student?
How do I see the world?
Or to like an educator or a teacher need to see, or what they need to do to see the world in the eyes of their students.
Oh, you have to look at it beyond you, because when you put it in your mind that these are the students that are gonna be leading tomorrow, then your mindset shifts. How you respond to that child changes. How you treat them, it changes, because when you really think about it, they are our future. And it's not like a literal thing, it's actually factual. They are. And everybody can remember that teacher that had that impact on them, that teacher that broke them, by saying either something negative, or the teacher that lifted them by saying something positive. It sticks to us. So you have to see it greater than yourself. Like, this child can actually be the one to even be your boss in a couple of years, and has so much potential. I see so much potential in them, so much love and hope that, sometimes they don't even see themselves, and know that you are there to build that, to help lift that, to give them that confidence, to see that they have that greatness within them. And that's what's going to shift the world as we move forward. So
Wow. So now, in your eyes, or should they reward an educator or a teacher? In your eyes,
how should they be
rewarding an educator or a teacher?
How should they reward them? Okay. Wow, nobody ever asked that question. Okay, for me, I'm speaking for my class, because I teach first graders, and this year was extremely challenging for me, because my first graders, a lot of them were not able to have technology last year when we were remote,
Yeah.
or they weren't as fully, like, the remote experience weren't as fully vibrant for them, so they missed a lot of schooling. But this year I was left by myself, right?
Okay.
Not even an assistant in the classroom, not even like a reading buddy support, nothing. It was just like, you figure it out. And I'm like, no, these are not like the same. It's not the same year, These kids need more support this year. one way to have rewarded me or supported me would have been like giving me an assistant, a classroom assistant, or somebody in there with these kids that I wanted so much to support. Another way would have been to just, I know we talk about it a lot, but it doesn't help to raise the salary because we have to live. I'm grateful I don't have children, because if I did, it would be very hard to live in New York City as a single woman. And I would say just keep acknowledging that the work that teachers are doing is not light work. I think society as a whole needs to just take a step back and acknowledge, like, they are working with our future generation. That is one of the biggest jobs. It should be actually right next to the president's job. I don't care what nobody says, because that's how powerful it is, that job.
Repeat it again. Let's go, Valerie.
No, we are actually doing a profound work, and it really needs to be regarded as highly as someone doing something similar as what the president is doing. The president is managing the country, but guess what? It's going to be harder to manage the country when you're not managing the people in the classroom, because they're the one that are going to be in your population. They're the one that are going to be there. So if you're not taking care of them now, and the people that are doing the work of supporting those people, then what do you have? What kind of society do you have? And it really does start in school. School is really important. It's where they learn a lot. Collaboration, how to treat somebody else.
So, next question. And I think I probably touch a nerve, but I'm glad you sharing it, and I think people need to listen. So now let's go with this question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you draw a line between a good teacher and a bad teacher? Draw a line between a good teacher and a bad teacher, a good educator and a bad educator.
In what way? Like, what do you mean draw a line?
Like differentiate a good, like try to say, okay, this is the quality of a good educator, this is the quality of a bad educator.
Wow, that's such an important question, because the spectrum of that is so big, right? Because as of right now, you know what's going on. I'm sure a lot of teachers may be labeled as a bad teacher because they're choosing to either put themselves first, or they're choosing to really be like, you know what, I need to take care of myself. It's taking a lot. And they could be mislabeled as being bad teachers. Whereas opposed to a teacher that's burnt out in the classroom as well, that's just that could be labeled as a bad teacher. But it's like, let's recognize the sign of what's actually going on for that person before we label them as what they are and who they are. So I do think that, you know, some people, whether it's the situation is good or bad, that this is just not the field for you. But even great teachers, somebody you would qualify as a great teacher who knows their subject, who embrace the job and what they're doing with the students, they can that person can still in a matter of a year be labeled as a bad teacher for I guess if they're not taking care of themselves. The key to this job is to really making sure like you are taking care of yourself and that you are supported, because if you're not, there's a fine line to getting into that bad teacher line. But I do think like this is a really challenging job. It requires a strong-minded individual, somebody that's really in it to do it.
Wow, thank you for sharing your point of view for a teacher and trying to differentiate the good character for a good teacher. So now, why? Because I feel like people think, and let me know if I'm wrong, and I'm trying to be neutral on that on my question. So it's about why is it important? So a teacher need to get paid more?
I thought that was, common sense, Um, I'm like the lowest paid out of all my friends group, and I have the most degrees, I have my master's, and I have to keep going back to school. And my other friends, most of them just have their bachelor's, and they're still making more money than me, and they're less stressed than I am in terms of what they have to do. I believe like teachers should get paid more, because each kid in your class, each student comes with a huge deal of obstacles or challenges. So now if you're just dealing with one child, I had a child whose mom just passed away. I have a child who's upset that his dad is moving away, and now he's not going to see him for a while. And having to take into consideration the needs of every single child all day is not a task for.
It's tough. Wow.
Yeah.
Listening to you and like expressing what type of job it is and the demand of that job is.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So I'm part of that because I teach a trade. I'm a locksmith instructor.
Wow.
It's gonna be the same. It's not the same level, but at the end of the day, it's education, instructing other people, and training them to do the right thing. So my question is now. So the reason I'm gonna ask this question is because I feel like we need to hear some answers. So why did people think, let's say they are saying bad thing about the teacher, or they value more the input of the other people than the teacher? Like where you there with the student, like for at least 6 hours or more.
Yeah, 6 hours and a half. Yeah.
And you see them, they're good and they're bad.
Yes.
But shouldn't you be the first to not judge them, but be able to analyze them?
Yeah, I believe, I'm probably the best to advocate on behalf of my students, because I see what they're going on in there. Nobody knows, because I'm the one that sees beside their parents and anybody who's in their life, really. And I still see where they struggle in terms of confidence or things like that. But I agree with you, and I can also see other people's side of why they may think they have an opinion on what teachers do, because it's so easy to, when you're on the outside to looking in, that this job looks so easy. All you have to do is just like, what? You got to teach 2 + 2 = 4? That's amazing. What? And that's the way most people see it. Like, it's not that hard. Just what's this? Just teach it to that. But then they don't see the part where they're measuring the success of every child learning the same thing. It doesn't matter if that child doesn't even know the number 2 yet, or that child has a special need, or this one here just came to this country and is still learning the language, or things like that. It's they don't see that. They're just like, it's a one size fit all, and that's the mindset that they're looking at it. It's like it should be easy, as opposed to you and I, who've probably been in school.
Yeah,
we've seen what could have been done better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, but at the end of the day, when it comes to even things like bringing community, bringing collaboration, teamwork, love, all of those things, it all falls on the teachers. Everything falls on the teachers, who has to bridge that on top of teaching, especially elementary school teachers, math, science, social studies, reading, writing, phonics, all of that. Now we gotta add taking care of the social emotional need, which is so important too, because you're not going to get anything done if you don't take care of the social emotional need.
Yeah, makes sense. I have two questions, and you free to you have the. It's up to you to answer, so I don't want you to get in trouble. First question: do you think educators have favorites? Favorite students?
There are some children in there that sometimes you see something in them. Like I have a few kids in there where the light bulb, that love for learning, it's just like it's on. They're just like they're looking, they want to learn, they want it. And when you see that in a child, sometimes you're just like, wow, I gotta protect that. I gotta nourish that, because something is in that child where they just like they crave it, and you wanna support that. So
do you want me to edit it? I can edit. I don't want you to be in trouble. I want you to guest.
It's fine, and it's like, it's not that I don't see that for every kid, and that's what I want to see with every kid. But
Okay.
Unfortunately, school is not the place where every kid is gonna feel like, this is the
Yeah. Okay. So now, next question is very, very loaded, and it's about imposter syndrome.
Ooh.
Do you think teacher has that? Teachers, educators, they has that?
Absolutely, because it's the measuring scale for what consists as a good teacher is so it's so broad, and it's so challenging that even when sometimes people tell me I'm a good teacher, but I'm like, wait, but I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that, and it's just like it's we're our biggest critics, and it can be real for some people. For me, I struggle with it, and it's just having to have faith and believing that you are doing good work and it matters. So definitely.
So the reason I ask is because I feel like people can come to work and be teaching, but at the end of the day, they leave their true self separate, where the person they are at home, it's different than the person that's teaching. So and I think people experience that elsewhere too. So now, we thank you. You did a great job on our hot topic. So thank you, appreciate it. So I don't know if you're a movie person. Let's go with what are the three movies you would recommend to my audience, and why?
Oh, that's so crazy. It's been so long since I watched a movie.
Really? You're not a movie person?
I would say not much like a media and TV person.
Okay.
I like to go out. That's me. But I do watch movies.
Okay, so let's talk about activities. What about three activities you would recommend people to do?
I love traveling. Like, it's always a good story, and just the experience of traveling and just seeing what life is like somewhere else, and just it opens up your perspective a lot. And definitely that. I love meeting up with people. I love to hear their stories. Just going out. I'm just such a social butterfly. I'm always at some social gathering, some networking event, some organization event, because I just love to just be around people. And then I have my time when I want to go home and just relax.
Okay.
And also just writing and just meditating. That's just a really good hobby of mine. Just coming home and just writing. I write a lot to clear my mind.
That's good. That's very, very, very good. So now let's go with let's say now they heard you on the podcast and they say, wow, we need to reward Valery. So, and they get you a big party, a lot of gifts, and you have a chance to have 5 people as a guest. So what are your top 5 influencers in your life that would be attending this event with you?
come on. I have a big family.
All right, so you asked for more, so put all them in there then.
um, definitely my dad.
Yeah.
My dad he just always was so supportive of whatever I wanted to do. Just, you want to be a teacher, fine, just go. that was his mentality. My sisters and my best friends, Tahina and Catherine, and I have a huge chunk of cousins that just need to be there because they inspire me so much. So they wanted to be there. Jeanette, Esther, Kia. Kia's not my cousin, she's my friend. Ashley.
Okay.
Some of my some people at work as well. I would say who I would want to be there. Ms. Brown George, she's very supportive. I would say Anna. She has been there. Edna, she's gone, but she's still somebody that I appreciate, even though she's not at the job.
Okay.
So many people. Wow, it's
a lot, right? It's a lot. So, what question you wish I asked you today? Question. What one question you had you wish I asked you today?
I guess where do I see myself next?
Oh, that was my next, but yeah. Well, so where do you see yourself?
Next?
5 years, yeah. Next.
That's a really big question. I asked you that because I'm actually in that planning phase where I lived out my 5 years plan, I guess. It didn't go as planned, but it's still, But I just see myself living life still, just going with where the universe wants to take me, loving what I do, and I'm going to continue to serve and love people in whatever shape and form that comes with. So,
wow. Oh, thank you, Valery. So we had Valery Gabriel today. She was our guest in our podcast, Divine Purpose Podcast. Please subscribe to the channel and share it with us and comment, and please you can find more episodes at www.dppodcast.com, or you go on YouTube or Facebook. Thank you, Valery. We had a great time talking with you and then learning about your journey. So, final word for you.
Just thank you so much for having me. This was really great. It inspired me to just keep going, and all these questions, I'm going to be reflecting on them later. So thank you for having me. I hope it touched somebody, anybody.
Thank you, Valerie. It was great having you, and we appreciate you. This is Divine Purpose Podcast with Eddy Dacius. Let's stay tuned for another episode. See you guys soon, and thank you, Valerie. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day.